Hey guys, I'm Paul from Constrictors and welcome to the third episode of the Chill Out Tuesday series. So on this episode we'll be taking a talking point from Gomez Pythons, but before I get stuck into that, I just want to say Sal over at Gomez is doing a fantastic job. His wife, his family, making his brand new YouTube channel very family oriented. He's sharing different aspects of this kind of community. He did a video on building the most amazing DIY rodent rack. He's done feeding videos and how he does it, etc. He's an American guy, so they typically feed live over there. I do know he does a bit of both, but he's doing a fantastic job. He's very new to the industry, so I'm going to link his YouTube channel in the description box down below. Please go over and give him a follow, show him some love and some support. He's doing a really good job, and I do thoroughly enjoy his content, and I do genuinely think he's such a nice guy, fantastic family, really good channel. So show him some support, tell him Paul at Urban Constrictors sent you, show him some love. So basically, he's wrote, love the idea Paul, so thank you. I would love to hear more about how you choose what animals you to buy next to further specific projects. Basically, he's wrote, not what I'm saying. Basically, what genes and why you choose them. Cheers, brother. Thank you, brother. So that's going to be the subject today. I'm going to rewind a little bit. I'm going to tell you how I basically set my stall out first. I'm going to tell you about building foundation stock, and then we're going to talk about how I choose the next animals to buy. So let's not put 2 minutes on the clock and let's go. So basically, first and foremost, whenever you're getting into breeding ball pythons, whether it's on a hobbyist basis or a business basis, you need to lay down the foundations, the foundation stock. With any big build, you've got to start at the bottom and work up. So you have to just troll Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Just look at the stuff that makes you say, wow, the stuff that excites you, and then make a list. Do you hear my ankle crack then? And then make a list of the ones you like best. Then, if your list is so massive, kind of focus it in slightly. Being a very focused breeder will pay dividends in the long run. Look at Justin Kabelka. His facility, his collection has typically evolved around clown. He's arguably the best breeder in the world. So he's got a very, very good focus on the clown project. But that's not to say he doesn't dabble in, obviously, pied, desert ghost, sunset, puzzle, etc, etc. And if his collection slightly evolves to another gene, that's fine. You're allowed to do that. But you must lay down your foundations first, focus in a specific project, and build on it from there. So for me, it's clown. Not because I copied Justin Kabelka, because I bought my first clown before I'd heard of Justin Kabelka in 2011, 12 maybe, I don't know. And my first ever season was in 2012, I think it was. So as a new, excited hobbyist, I would go to shows, I would go on Facebook and on the forums, Captive Bred, RFUK, Bush League, Bush Club. I'd just see cool snakes. And if it was in the UK, if I saw it and I liked it, I would typically buy it. Because being a young entrepreneur, I'd made a little bit of money, I'd done all right, and I was just buying. I was like, wow, that's cool, I can afford it, I'll buy it. I'd do a little bit of a background check on the person and then I'd buy it. Fortunately, I've never had a disease run through my collection. I've never had a snake with a respiratory infection. So I think I did actually dodge a bullet. The way I was doing stuff, it could have been a recipe for a disaster because I was buying off so many different people. So before I get stuck into Sal's question, Sal's talking point, I would say always look into who you're buying off. That's a very, very big point for everyone moving forward in this industry. So come breeding season, how it would be like, I've got 16 snakes, 16 females, I've got this male, I've got that male, and it was just like a chef having very bland ingredients. It was like, there wasn't bland snakes, but it's like, well, that one doesn't go with that, and that one doesn't go with that one, and that doesn't go with that. It was just like, what have I done? I've got a jumble sale, I've got a mix of genes that don't blend well together. So you've got to kind of focus your buying very, very specifically to the projects you want to push forward. So like I said, for me, it's clown. So now my recommendations for people would be set your foundation stock out, buy some clowns. whether it's super high-end clowns or your lower, just straight clowns, because you've got to work within your means and within your own budget. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with just starting out with very, very kind of cheap and low, easy, accessible jeans, because you never know what it can build up into. You never know what it can evolve into. And in a couple of years, you might think this isn't actually for me, and you haven't put tremendous amounts of money in. But if you are a couple of years in and you feel this is what you want to do for many years, then obviously kind of buy less animals but more expensive ones, because that will pay dividends, whether it's financial dividends, whether it's rewards in just what you hatch, etc. There's nothing wrong with spending money on snakes. If you're looking after your snakes fantastically well and you want to invest large amounts of money, do it. Don't let nobody hold you back. Just buy the cool stuff you like, but make sure it all blends well. So then once you lay down your foundation stock, you've got maybe a season or two under your belt, and then it's time to like invest a little bit more money. You've sold the surplus stock, you've hatched some cool stuff, you've kept the cream of the crop, you've sold off the surplus, and then you kind of almost enter in phase 2. If you want me to talk more about phase 1, please let me know in the comment section below and I'll be happy to do it. But now we're going to delve more into Sal's question and hit phase 2. So the way I do it, I've got an album in my iPhone, and every time I see a really cool snake, I save it into the album. Screenshot it, save it. I typically make sure I can see the breeder, so if I need to revert back to it, I can. So I'll use Bob Vu as a very, very good example. Bob Vu recently posted up some Cypress Clown combinations. Now, if you follow me at all, you'll know I'm already part of the Cypress Clown project. But he hit some Cypress Clowns that was a very, very different dynamic to the ones I've hit. Mine are equally as beautiful and as amazing, but his was very different. So they caught my attention because it was like, well, this is the Cypress Clown project, but there's forks in the road. We can go that way, we can go that way, or we can go both. There's obviously more and more roads you can take, and you just hatch more and more cool stuff. So I saved the pictures, and the Cypress Het Clown combos was equally as... I actually shared them on a group on our messenger. So it was like, check these out, just amazing, amazing combination. So credit to Bob Vu for that. And if you don't follow Bob Vu, please do. He's amazing, got a phenomenal facility and collection. So I basically go into phase 2 looking at what excites me, what really catches my eye. I do not care if they retail at 10 grand or £10. If I like them and I want to own them, I will obviously take the steps to create them. I make that album in my phone so I can refer back, because as breeding season comes closer, my projects evolve and change ever so slightly, because I'll see snakes that catch my eye that are kind of 5% better than the one I initially thought I was going to try and go into and make. I think it's very old information when people say, oh, I'm always working 2 years ahead. That's okay if you rewind the clock and you basically bought a pastel and a clown, and then you've got like a spider and 6 normals. It's like, well, I want to make pastel clowns. So you put the pastel to the clown to make your hets. You grow them up, you put one of them back to the clown to make a visual, or you put 2 of them together to make a killer clown. But now the industry moves tremendously fast. It's going to start to slow down a little bit simply because we're going into more triple and quadruple recessives and more, but only people like Justin Cabelka are doing your 5 times and above. So in the early days, you would work a couple of years ahead because it would be very, very slow paced, but now it's fast. And you've got so many breeders across so many platforms showing off their living art that my projects can change ever so slightly from a day-to-day basis. I've entered breeding season and backed a male off and then put a new male in, whether I already had him or purchased him, because I've found a snake that I like 10% or 100% more than the one I initially bought. Doing that, there's no shame in it, and don't think that you have to set your stall out and stick to it. Life is given to us a day at a time, and anything can change from one day to the next. You can be super happy today and then super sad tomorrow, but that's fine because you've got the next day to look forward to. You can be going down a certain project on Monday, but then on Tuesday you take a slight swerve and go down a slightly different project because that project lights a fire under your butt and it makes you super excited. So when I'm entering breeding season, I've obviously taken so much careful consideration into the projects I'm about to start to try to create. Snakes I'm trying to create within their projects. But when I go on Instagram and see Bob Vu's page and see something slightly better, I will change it. And then from another aspect, because I just want to hatch some amazing snakes. 2020 was such an amazing season for me. And look at all these holdbacks. I open a tub and it's like, wow. I open another tub, it's wow. I open another tub and I think, oh, that's not holdback. Then I open the next one, it's like, wow. It's like, wow, wow, wow. Look at all these amazing snakes. Look at the ones I bought. It's just, and they all blend. I bought pieds, like super orange dream pied combos that are het for Ghost and possible het Ultramar. Now that, I'm not necessarily just putting that pied into a pied, I'm putting it into my hypo clown. So I'm going to make hypos what are all orange dream, because he's a super orange dream. It's possible super enchi, so hopefully if he proves out, they'll be orange dream enches. Some of them will be hypo because he's not a visual and she is, so only some of them will be hypo. But they're all going to be 100% double het for clown and pie. Now check that out for an amazing project. So one day I'll be hatching some super orange dream combos with pied, clown and hypo. Hypo clowns are exquisite, hypo pieds are exquisite. Clown pieds are just amazing and I love them. And I know they're not for everyone, but for me, I love them. So I'm going to mix it all together. And then it's like put puzzle in there and see where that goes. Put desert ghost in there and just polish everything up. So you got to basically buy the cool, amazing snakes that create these amazing projects in your head. But if you're just starting out, just take one step at a time. Just lay your foundations down correctly and properly. Give yourself a bright future with some amazing females. Buy girls, just buy them up, get them growing, get their routine, get your routine into them. Every Tuesday you're getting fed. You know, so obviously sometimes they refuse. Every Thursday we're cleaning. You know, get your routine, get them settled, get them growing, get them used to your routine. And then come breeding season, them males are just like us. It's like, woohoo, let's go. Well, not all of them are, but a lot of them are like, let's get going. So get them females in the racks, get them growing up, get your routine into them. And then once you're breeding and you're going into phase 2, just focus it in. Don't go to a show and buy that snake because it's cool and buy that one off Morph Market because it looks amazing. You're going from different page to different platform to different place and you're buying this and that and the other, because then it comes to breeding season, it's like, well, I've just got all this jumbled up shit and it doesn't blend well together. The snakes are all amazing but not together. They don't blend well. It's like you won't want black pastel and cinnamon everything, because then you're going to create potentially snakes with duck billing and kinks. You don't want spot nose and everything, and spot nose in all your males and spider in all your females, because then you're going to make a lethal combination potentially when you mix them together. So you have to think of different aspects, but you also have to take and put to the forefront of the ground what excites you and what lights a fire under your butt and the cool combinations you want to make. Doesn't matter if loads of people are making them or if nobody's making them, as long as it excites you and your family if you're working with like Sally's, you know. So don't get me wrong, don't necessarily make a bunch of all black snakes that nobody really gets excited about, or all white snakes that not that many people get excited about, because selling the surplus animals selling the surplus animals can be quite difficult. And when you're up against it and you're finding aspects of the industry difficult, it kind of holds you back and sets you back. So if you want to take it from a business standpoint, I would also recommend working with in genes that people want: red stripe in clown, black pastel in clown, special in clown. All of the above I'm working with, and all of the above I will create, statistically I should do, in 2021. So I'm going to be able to take the cream off the top and then sell the surplus animals. That paves a very bright future for urban constrictors and for my happiness in the industry. Selling snakes easy makes you happy. It excites your customers there because they just can't get enough of them. and it just makes everything easy. And I've got a certain few projects that not everybody's thinking about that will either be kind of, I don't want to say a disaster, but they could result in, it didn't really work. But that's cool, because sometimes they will work and they'll be exquisite. Look at that most amazing vanilla clown combo I hatched last season. Yeah, she's not aging as quite as nice as I would like, but then that, as the artist, kind of goes into phase 3, where it's like, right, what can I do to make it a beautiful adult? So I hope that's kind of answered the question. I get so excited when I talk about projects and about goals and about how you can stamp yourself on this industry, because I absolutely love this industry, and I'm a slightly artistic person, and this is my living art, and it really excites me making cool and amazing snakes, and all the love I get on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It really helps me within myself, within my mindset, etc. And I love it. And it's fantastic. Like, look at Andy Fagan from Rogue Constrictors. He's bought some ludicrously amazing snakes off me. And we talk quite a lot. We're developing a really good friendship, and I'm super privileged to know him. And when he talks to me, he always thanks me. Every time he talks, he's like, oh, thank you so much for them snakes. It's like, dude, look how much you spent. Thank you. This isn't one-sided. This is like a partnership. And Andy, like I said, is going to hatch some amazing stuff this year, and I'll probably buy off him. So I'll give him some of that money back. And that's good. That's amazing. You prop each other up, you support each other. And that's why in my videos, I quite often talk about positivity. Stay positive. Hey, I can run with biggest assholes in the world. I can be very horrible. We all can. But when you're laying your stall out, if you're seen as the nice guy, as a positive guy, then that's good. If you're seen as the guy who's always moaning and ranting and that, kind of puts people off. So not only set your stall out in your combinations, but set your professionalism out first and foremost. You know, logos and all that is only one small aspect. You've got to look at Sal. Prime example. Comes across really nice, comes across caring in his videos, cares about the industry, and is brand new. So he's laying some foundations down, fantastic foundations to push him forward. So I hope that in a very long way has answered the question. I do apologise because I don't want the videos to go on too long, but it's so exciting when you're just creating these genetic living arts. It's amazing. And I'm going to hatch, like, look at the pastel calico vanilla orange dream het clown. This year I'm putting a different male to her, even though two of her hatchlings are amongst my favourites, but this year I'm putting a different male to see how, I don't want to say the gene, how this reacts with vanilla and how it reacts with orange dream. And when you're kind of one of the only people doing it, maybe even the only person doing it, that exact combo, it's amazing, even if it doesn't react as amazing as you quite wanted it to, because it's like, well, I did that, I found out. And people talk about, oh, I don't aim for world first. You don't need to aim for world first, but when you hit them, no one else has got them. Very, very special. When you cut an egg or you watch a snake pick, and that's the only one in the world, you're the only person at that moment that's seen it. It's a very special thing. And if you've hatched them, it wasn't that special for you. Maybe this industry ain't quite what you thought it was or hoped it was for you. But for me, like on one of my past YouTube videos, I was taking photos of a spot-nosed banana pastel clown, Pippin. I was taking photos of it each step of the way, the bubbles, etc. I saw it take its first breath out the egg and stuff like that. It was very special. You know, there's lots of different aspects to this industry that can give massive reward. It's not all about just making money. It's about every step of the journey. You know, when you see that female on eggs, it's very, very special. So anyway, hope that's answered your question. Thank you for being a part of Chill Out Tuesday. If you want to be up with a chance of being featured, please drop your ideas in the comments box down below, and hopefully you'll get shout out and your post will be on screen. If I don't see you before, I'll see you on the next episode of Chill Out Tuesday. Thanks, guys.